Hello to everyone. I am Professor Raja, working as Assistant Professor EC Department, SNS College of Technology and Autonomous Institution Coimbatore. In this YouTube video, I am going to discuss about 23 EET 105 Fundamentals of Electrical and Electronics Engineering subject under Unit 3 Wiring, Grounding and Safety topic, General Rules of Wiring. So this is the first topic in this Unit 3. Now let us go into the topic. General wiring rules include using correctly sized wires for the load, ensuring all metal parts are grounded, using proper color coding for wires, example green for earth, black for neutral and red or yellow blue for phases, and separating light and power circuits. Always use a licensed electrician. It protects each live wire with a fuse or circuit breaker and ensure no fuse or switch is placed in the neutral or earth wire. So you, an electronics engineer, you have to know why the different colors of wires are available and how these wires are connected with switches and how lights and fans are separated by the way of different switches. You must know this. Now this topic will provide why these colorings are separated and what is the purpose of fuse and how the circuit breakers are used in the general rules of wiring. Now we are going to see in detail. This is the revision part, so we can see at the last. General rules of wiring. General rules of wiring. Safety and protection. Grounding. All non-current carrying metal parts such as conduits and castings must be properly earthed. The earth terminal of all socket outlets must be permanently connected to the earth wire. Circuit protection. Every live wire or phase must be protected by a fuse or circuit breaker of the current rating. Each sub-circuit should be connected to a distribution fuse board. Switches and fuses. No switch or fuse should never be placed in the neutral or earth conductor. Switches should be located on the live conductor only. Wire selection. The current carrying capacity of the wire should be greater than the load current, ideally at least 1.5 times larger. We use standard quality wires and accessories with ISI marking for safety. Work practices. Always turn off power before working on any circuit. Never use damaged or frayed wires or replace broken switches and plugs immediately. Fire safety. Fix caution notices on all equipment and keep fire extinguisher near electrical panels. These are the main areas where if you are going to any public places or any workshop which is used in electrical circuits, these are need to be maintained. Wiring and circuit design. Color coding. Use a consistent color schemes to identify wires, that is green for earth, black for neutral and red, yellow, blue for different phases. Separate circuits. Keep light and fan wiring separate from power wiring in a building. Load distribution. In a three-phase system, distribute the load as equally as possible across all phases. Sub-circuits. The number of load points on earth circuit is often limited, for example, a 10 for light and a fan for circuit. Installation standard. Install switchboards at a height of at least 1.25 meters from the floor. Use 3-pin sockets for all outlets with 15 ampere sockets for power circuits and 5 ampere sockets for light and fan circuits. So these are the standardized given circuit way of connections. Before energizing, we can go for testing. Test the installation for insulation resistance and leakage current before giving it power to ensure doesn't exceed 1/5000 times of the maximum current. Load capacity. Don't connect additional loads to an existing installation until it's confirmed that the installation can safely handle the extra load. So these are the general rules that we can follow in any working places. First one is every installation is to be properly protected near the point of entry of supply cables by a 2-pole linked main switch or a fuse unit. In a 2-wire installation, if one pole is permanently earthed, no fuse switch or circuit breaker is to be inserted in this pole. A 3-pole switch and fuse unit is to be used in 3-phase supply. The conductor used is to be of such a size that it may carry load current safely. The conductor installed are to be safe in all respects. Each subcircuit is to be connected to a distribution fuse board. Every line is to be protected by a fuse of suitable rating as per requirements. You can see this fuse in your laboratory. A switchboard is to be installed so that its bottom line is 1 to 25 meters above the floor, that is 1.25 meters. All plugs and socket outlets are to be a 3-pin type, the appropriate pin of socket being connected permanently of the earthen system. Adequate number of socket outlets is to be provided at suitable places in all rooms so as to avoid use of long lengths of flexible cords. Only 3-pin 5 ampere socket outlets are to be used in all light and fan subcircuits, and only 3-pin 50 ampere socket outlets are to be used in all power subcircuit. All socket outlets are to be controlled by individual switches, which are to be located immediately adjacent to it. For 5 ampere socket outlets, if installed at a height of 25 cm above the floor level, the switch may, if desired, to be installed at a height of 1 to 30 meters above the floor level. In such situations where a socket outlet is accessible to children, it is recommended to use shortened or interlocked socket outlets. In case an appliance requires the use of socket outlet of rating higher than 50 amperes is to be used, it is to be connected through a double pole switch of appropriate rating. In no case a socket outlet of rating higher than 50 ampere is to be installed. Socket outlets are not to be located centrally behind the appliances with this are used. Socket outlets are to be installed either 25 cm or 1.30 meters above the floor as desired. Next, if sockets outlet is to be provided the bathroom at a height less than 1.3 meters. Depending on the size of the kitchen, one or more 3-pin 15 ampere socket outlets are to be provided to plug in hot plates or other appliances. Dining rooms, bedrooms, living rooms and study rooms if required, each is to be provided with at least one 3-pin 15 ampere socket outlet. All incandescent lamps, unless otherwise required, are to be hung at a height of 2.5 meters above the floor level. Unless otherwise specified, all ceiling fans are to be hung 2.75 meters above the floor. Lights and fans may be wired on a common circuit. Each subcircuit is not to have more than total of 10 points of lights, fans and socket outlets. The load on each subcircuit is to be restricted to 800 watts. If a separate circuit is installed for fans only, the number of fans in the circuit is not to be exceed the 10. The load on each power subcircuit is to be normally restricted to 3000 watts. In no case more than 2 outlets are to be in power subcircuit. No fuse and switches to be provided in earthened conductor. Every circuit or apparatus is to be provided with a separate means of isolation such as switch. All apparatus required attention are to be provided with the means of access to it. If any building, light, fan, wiring and power wiring are to be kept separate. In 3-phase, 4-wire installation, the load is to be distributed equally on all the phases. No additional load is to be connected to an existing installation unless it has to be ascertained in the installation can safely carry the additional load and that the earthening alignments are adequate. Lamp holders are used in bathrooms, are to be constructed or shouted in insulation material and fitted with a protective shield, and earth continuity conductor is not to be size less than 7 by 0.915 millimeter. The metal sheaths are conduits for all wiring, and metal coverings of all consuming apparatus or appliances to be properly earthened in order to avoid danger from electrical shock due to leakage or failure of insulation. Each subcircuit is to be protected against excessive current by fuse or automatic circuit breaker. All live conductors are to be insulated or otherwise safeguarded to avoid danger. After completion of work, the installation is to be tested before energization. So in this YouTube video, I discussed what are the general rules of wiring and how can we make a proper wiring in our home or any industrial areas. So thank you for watching my video. Next YouTube video, I will be bring a new topic of a discussion. Thank you all.